Welcome back to another episode, crew. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date with what I'm trying to put out there. It'll help to support the channel, and the more likes we can have, the more feedback I can get, see what everyone wants to hear about from me. So today what I was going to talk about is all of the semi-finals are now completed. So we now have all of the athletes who are going to be competing at the CrossFit Games other than the qualifiers from the last chance qualifiers, which is in 2 weeks' time. So it was interesting to see on the weekend how Katrin Davis-Sutter didn't qualify for the CrossFit Games. So she was only a few points out of qualifying. She has obviously qualified for the last chance qualifier. One thing I did want to talk about with her, okay, and with say some of the others, is the standards in the reps. Now, Katrin Davis-Sutter, she was doing kettlebell deadlifts and wasn't opening up her hips. Now, if I was doing a kettlebell deadlift or a deadlift in general, okay, all right, so if I was coming to here, okay, this is technically not opening my hips fully up, okay? So this is where she was coming to roughly, okay, in the actual event, okay? Her judge was giving her those reps. Now, a deadlift from what I remember on CrossFit level 1, okay, is where you fully lock out your hips and you show full alignment here. There is no shoulder forwards of the body. If I even had a rolled shoulder, then that's technically not a rep, okay? So the standard across some of these competitions is becoming a little bit, I guess, not fair. So these judges who are judging these events, they are volunteers. They are not paid by CrossFit. They are not professional judges. They're not on a team that trains all the time and looks at all the judging standards and are all on the same level. They are all literally volunteers who just come together for the love of the sport and be a part of it. Yep, they get a free pair of shoes, okay? However, that doesn't mean that they're a great judge. So often we see where scores will get let through and athletes will get given a rep for something that may not seem like an obvious rep to someone else. Or you'll have a judge at some competitions who are super strict and they will not give reps for anything. And that athlete might actually, in some cases, like I saw at the Touring Pro, a couple of cases where the athlete looked to me like they were doing the rep to the standard, however their judge wasn't giving it. So there are some judges who are on the other side of the scale and are super strict, and then there are some who might be a little bit afraid to actually no rep some of these athletes. So it's an interesting topic about the standards, and I spoke about it in the last episode, or the episode before, where we spoke about Guimar Harris's clean and jerk, and after he came out of his front squat, we spoke about how he looked like he appeared to go and jerk the bar, but he deemed he was re-racking his bar, however his feet came apart. Now technically, according to the standards, like I said, that shouldn't have been a rep. He then re-jerked it and his judge gave it to him, so there's nothing they can do about that. However, also when I was at Touring Pro, in the legless rope climb, so the legless rope climb running workout, so Jake Douglas, he actually had to do a whole extra round because his judge miscounted his reps, okay? So in that standard instance as well, that then put him back. He did get his score fixed up in the end to rectify that he'd done 10 rounds, so he gave him a score when he would have finished 10 rounds, not when he finished 11 rounds. So that's like saying, does CrossFit need to get better judges? Does CrossFit need to have this team that literally just goes around to all of the sanctionals and they're paid judges and they judge at every single competition? That's just their job, and CrossFit hires them out. Like, we hire out teams who set up all these events and venues and stuff. Why can't they have a team of judges that's in each, like, maybe continent, region or something, that literally just works together and they get paid to judge the sport that is making a lot of money? So that's a question I have for you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback about that with regards to how you think CrossFit might be able to run that better. The other thing I want to talk about is Sam Briggs. So Sam Briggs, she competed at the Lowlands Throwdown. She came 6th overall in the, or 7th, sorry, overall in the Lowlands Throwdown. So she actually qualified for the last chance qualifier as well. So she actually announced her official retirement from the sport. So she left her shoes out on the floor, which is a sign that they're not intending on coming back to the competition. So a few years ago at the 2017 games, but Stacey Tober retired as well from the sport, and it was a big, huge spectacle. And you know, when someone who's been in the sports for as long as Sam Briggs, you know, retires from competing competitively in CrossFit, it is a big deal. Like, they have sacrificed. So she's been in the sport for over 10 years, and she's sacrificed so much of her time and dedication to be where she is. Now, she's also an older athlete as well, and she's still competing in the elite field of women. So for her to be able to achieve that after having such a long career, several injuries as well, is nothing short of amazing. So she is definitely an icon within our sport, and I believe that she definitely needs to be recognised for all the amazing things she did throughout her career. So in one of the question things that I put out on social media, several people were asking me who I would like to do vlogs with. So as I said on my last vlog, I am going to be teeing these up and getting to sort out some kind of schedule for me to actually be able to work with these guys and get more like Australian people out to you guys. It's probably the best part about doing this is actually going and personally hanging out with these people and these athletes and getting to know them and see that they're like when you're sitting in the stadium and you're watching these athletes out on the floor, you know, to us they're like these amazing people who have achieved so much and they're so incredible. But you know, you take away all of that and they've all got families and they've all got jobs, and well, some of them have jobs, most of them have jobs actually. Like it could be coaching or whatever, but they're still doing other things outside of that. A lot of people like will do personal programming and stuff for affiliates, or they might have a nutrition company that they run or something like that. So in Australia, we don't really have any athletes who just do it full time without doing anything else, like even Cara Saunders. So she runs her company as well, raises her child. But my goal with this channel is to really showcase the up and coming people in the sport. You know, like it's amazing to get to know how some of these people get to the stage that they're at and how they really, where they want to go and what they expect from this sport. So I think in the next few years, Australia's CrossFit sport is going to change because a lot of new names are going to start coming through in the up and comers. And it'll be interesting to see who starts to come out on the top of our podium. Like people like Ellie Turner, for example, when she was competing at ACC, she didn't even qualify for the games and she wasn't really on anyone's radar. And then the following year she made it to the games and she, is now one of Australia's best athletes. So yeah, that's what I'm excited to share with you guys, and I really hope you guys are enjoying what I'm sharing with you all. If there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, please hit me up, send me a message on social media, on Instagram or whatever, or just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date with what I'm sharing with you guys, and I appreciate it. Thanks crew, see you later.